You might hardly see homeless people rising in Tokyo, but it's been more and more obvious for the people supporting those in need. This organization, Tenohashi, regularly provide food, necessities, and consulting service for the people in poverty. And they've seen such a big increase of the number, and also demographic change. They've got way more young people and women coming there.
昔はそんなね、若者もまずいなかった。若ければなんか仕事があったわけですよね。で今は、それがどんどんねなくなっていって、特にコロナになってね非正規の仕事がバンバン切られましたから、簡単なスクリーニングテストやらせてもらったらば150人中約 40% に精神疾患の疑いがあると、そういう結果が出てますので、家を一回得たとしてもそこで一人になっちゃうわけですよね。困窮して家を失ってホームレスになっちゃうと、そういったことは非常に多いですね。それは本人の責任。
Look, Japan has a pretty high suicide rate, which can be attributed to their intense working culture. America has a worse work culture in comparison to Japan. America has a higher suicide rate per capita, a higher number of suicides per capita in comparison to Japan. The difference with suicides is just 1 point, marginal, fair. But understand, when I'm making a comparison between Japan and America, this comparison revolves around how shitty America is, not necessarily how great Japan is. We went over this 2 days ago. People that say this are operating off of old stereotypes.
というよりはね、やっぱり福祉の貧困、医療であるとかにうまく乗れないと生活困窮してで路上生活になってしまうという人は非常に多くて、申請に行くと冷たい態度取られてね、心の傷を深めると、そういったケースはいっぱいあります。
やる気よりもっとすごい力、なんか起き上がれないんですよね。なんか何にもできなくなる。
How can you know that Japan is underreporting at a higher, lower rate than the U.S. is? Doesn't that have to be considered? I mean, Japan is... here's the reality. Japan is underreporting their homelessness rates, but so is America, which is why I made the original point that, like, no matter how much Japan is underreporting their homelessness rates, even if it's, like, literally 10 times more, America still has a dramatically larger homelessness problem, okay? That was my point. The United States also has invisible homelessness in the same way that the chatter described her own perspective. This is something I've talked about a lot. And if you have visible homelessness, that means you have so much more invisible homelessness. The only difference is, from what I understand, given the, I guess, Japanese proclivity towards like wanting to... The stages of homelessness is something I've discussed many, many times. When I originally said it's crazy how low the percentage of homelessness is, okay, in Japan in comparison to the United States of America, when I talked about that, I was looking for how that works. What's invisible homelessness? Homelessness isn't just about the people that you see on the streets that have tattered clothing and sometimes are like visibly in a state of disarray. A lot of people that you encounter on a day-to-day basis, maybe in the service sector, maybe in general, could potentially be homeless, living out of their cars or couch surfing. It usually starts with couch surfing. Well, it ultimately starts with being priced out of the housing market. In Japan, it seems like there are, due to some social amenities like public bathrooms and whatnot, there are better opportunities to exist as like a invisible homeless person. This doesn't change the problem, obviously, because I've talked about it. Like, there is a housing issue in Japan too. Here's a data graph: annual working hours versus GDP per capita. United States' annual working hours is at almost 1,800. Japan's is lower, but still very high. Americans work longest hours among industrialized countries. Japanese is the second longest. Europeans work less time but register faster productivity gains. In the new ILO, International Labor Organization statistical volume highlights labor trends worldwide. Anyway, let's continue watching
なっ
this.
ちゃうみたいな。なんか日本の方だとちょっと変な目で見てきますよね。
The average age of homeless people hit a record
本来ね、
63.6 years
生活保護
old.
支援を受けてるのは200万人ぐらいですかね。2、3倍の人が生活保護より以下の水準でね、生きてると。日本人のね、メンタリティ、お上の世話にはなりたくないというのと、あと生活保護を受けるような人間はダメなやつだというね、そういった偏見が日本中にあって、生活保護を受けなければ生きていけない人たちの中にもそれが刻み込まれていると。その人が保護を受けてもやっぱり自分に対してね、自分のことをダメ出しをするわけですよね。そういうね、メンタリティ
That's
がありますから。
Hiroyuki has been staying in internet cafes while living from day to day. He refuses to seek help from his family, social workers, or anyone.
なんか誰にも社会にも負担になりたくはないっていうか、今のこういった状況は
Bro, I feel like Japanese people have also distorted themselves to be the perfect little warriors for capitalism, the capitalist project too. Like that culture of shame can cause it to operate, but it also has like this kind of impact too, and also it leads to the inevitable incredibly high. Yeah, Connor explained the internet cafe thing. Yeah, we talked about it.
自分のせいでもありますし、すごい恥ずかしいなっていうふうに感じてしまうんですよね。だからこう助けを受ける資格がないかなっていうか、それとやっぱ家族に今どこにいてどういう状況かとか知られたくない。
By the way, everything that he's talking about in his living conditions, from the manga cafes that he can exist in, where there's like internet and shelter for like super cheap pricing, and also the food that is also super cheap, and the fact that he can go to like public restrooms, be able to clean himself, these are all still incredibly fucked up. But this is all part of the reason why homelessness can be so invisible in a place like Japan. No such thing obviously exists in the United States of America. Another comparison I'm making. This does not mean that it's good. I want to stress this point, as I have time and time again, but I probably should stress it more frequently. Tanahashi has been doing outreach, but only if you accept help.
なんであんたその頑張るんですかと聞くんですけどね。やっぱりこう、よくあるのは親兄弟に知られたくない。もうね、非常にね、こう嫌な体験になっている。虐待を受けてた人もいるし、住民票とか設定しちゃうと、借金が追いかけてくるとか、怖いやつが追いかけてくるってこともあるでしょうし、一番最後はもう体壊してね、体が言うこと聞かなくなった時に、助けてと言ってもらう。それまではね、もう路上で頑張るんだみたいなね、ことを言ってる方は結構いて。
In these decades, more and more people moving into Tokyo hoping that they'll get greater job prospects and higher pay, which is often the case actually. And I think this applies to pretty much any of the big cities. But this overconcentration
Wait,
actually, and I think this applies
the average monthly income in Tokyo, about
to pretty
$2,780.
much any of the big cities. But this over-concentration in Tokyo caused higher rent and made it even harder for people in poverty to find a place to live. Even though the government trying to disperse it, not many people willing to take it. Because again, there are not enough job opportunities in the countryside. While Tokyo at least has more jobs, housing requirements are still too high.
路上生活の方が
Bro, this is literally, this is straight up. That's low compared to like New York City. Yeah, that is insanely low for a big city, dude. What the fuck?
家を構えるというのは不可能ですよね。仕事があってまず正社員になれないですよね、家がないと。じゃあアルバイト、日雇いの仕事ね。で1日8,000円とかもらう、月収10万ですよね。それで貯金できるかというとまず厳しいですよね。
Luckily,
Does Japan have a drug problem like how some states in the U.S. has? I think that puts a critical role in homeless situations. No, it doesn't, dude. No. Great example. No, it doesn't have like the same drug problems that America has. But also, What the fuck do you mean? Some states in America have drug problems. What are you talking about? The Apple? I'm willing to bet this motherfucker's not talking about the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. You know what he means when he says some states. He's talking about like. Anyway, listen, chatter. I'm going to clue you in on something. Drugs come after. Okay? In most cases, it's not the drugs that cause homelessness. Drugs come after. Whether it's a black market way to make money on the side so you can like ensure survival, or whether it is so that you can run the top of the hour ad break and avoid the top of the hour ad break.
Tokyo has many internet cafes as alternative housing for people like Hiroyuki, and some organizations provide you with housing support like a share house that you can use for free a few months. But still, housing support is not nearly enough.
手の足だけで今22部屋確保してて、家がない人にね、希望者にはね、提供してます。そこから生活保護を申請し、で、アパート一人暮らしの練習をして、自分のアパートを借りてそちらにね、ずっと住み続けると。それをやると、もう大体ね、9割ぐらいの人はね、うまくいきます。そのシェルターを運用してるんですけども、いかんせんもう22部屋全然足りなくて、一民間 NPO がね、できることはごく限られているので、本当に歯がゆいんですけども、結局こう、蛇口からジャージャー水が漏れてるのに、ね、我々ちっちゃなね、コップで作ってるだけなんですよ。だから漏れる水をね、ちゃんとこう、止めないといけないと。